Tonight I want to reflect with you guys and ask a very important question that I found on a post on Instagram. If you had to start all over again, knowing what you know now, what would you do differently? So it made me think about the moments in my life. 4 times I've had to restart and reset my business back to zero to build from the ground up. The first, I ran a blog all about reviewing music, and I had one Instagram name that I'm not even going to mention to you guys here. Then I started again with a group of friends as a magazine, and we were an online platform where we put out issues once every quarter. That closed down. I had to start again. I ran a business with a DJ and we founded a record label together. I was DJing myself. I rebranded again. And then a 4th time, as All About Helping, I actually changed my name twice on Instagram. So what would you do if your SoundCloud got shut down like mine did by Universal for copyright strikes? What would you do if your Instagram got hacked? What would you do if you had to walk away from a business that you love with all of your heart, but you felt like it wasn't a good fit for you, so you walked away leaving with nothing? How would you rebuild your account? That is the question we want to talk about tonight. You're now locked into the All About Helping podcast, the music marketing show that drives artists to master social media and build fan bases with a purpose. So scaling from 0 followers, what success habits would you put in place to get back to where you are? For me, personally, I think I would go much more heavier on voice notes. So what I do nowadays, when somebody has a birthday, when I haven't connected with somebody, I'll literally just hold down the voice note and I'll tell them how proud I am of them. I'll tell them how much their friendship has meant to me and a message that I want to give to them. And then after we've had the first voice note, I hate them back and forth voice conversations, but then if the time is right, then we'll start conversations. I would do that more because as cycles go, you always gain Instagram followers, but if they don't enjoy your content, they drop off. So if they're not enjoying what they're seeing, imagine if they were so hooked onto your brand because they liked you as a person, because one time you sent them a very kind voice note and that changed their perspective about you. So that's what I would do if I could redo anything. That would be the way to keep my community. But what about growing the community? I would make my reintroduction to the world with a piece of high impact content. So whether that's a music video, whether that's a DJ mix, whether that was a talking to camera type video, and I'd make it really high impact. So I would try and get my existing community of friends to share that piece of content. So like I said, an example, when my SoundCloud got deleted, I came back with a new style of a DJ mix and I titled it New Beginnings. I got all of my existing community to reshare that mix and it's sitting on something like 65,000 plays right now, because I switched up the style as well. Rather than just instrumental future beats / R&B music, I came with much more vocal-led music. And I also started doing mixes about how I was feeling. So if I was going on a business trip and I felt very burnt out, all the song lyrics and even the beat choices themselves were all reflective of my mood. They weren't just a random fortnight worth of new music. It was actually telling a story through the sounds. So if you don't have a piece of high impact content, you could maybe talk to the camera and explain the story of where you went, what happened to your account. Or if you didn't even have the existing networks and you lost contact with everybody, I would use a different platform, maybe Twitter DMs or Facebook Messenger or whatever it would be, to reconnect to all your people, find the communities where they already hang out. If there's any major shows, and you could one by one retrospectively add a couple of your connects to rebuild the connection between you guys, and then you could talk to them and say, yo, my account got deleted, but I'd love your support to help me rebuild. And then I would also go out into the scene and proactively put my name back on the map. So if there were any key radio hosts, any key YouTube channels, any key blogs that used to write about my old account before it got taken down, I would rebuild those bridges as well. So I'd hit up the owners of those platforms and ask to do a fresh piece of content for their platform, not to be hosted on the channel that I would rebuild, but to be hosted on their platform, tagging and linking over to my new account. They would be the 3 steps I would take if I had lost everything I had to rebuild. But also I'd want to do things differently. I think I'd want to talk from the heart a lot more. I'd want to not take anything for granted that 10,000 community strong people you may have had. If you lost them all, you can then become extremely grateful for 100 people as you start to rebuild. And those 100 superfans are going to be the core of your audience. The people who show up to support you at your absolute lowest are the ones who deserve to be with you and celebrate when you're at your highest. So those people you need to nurture and take them on a journey with you. So wherever you go, maybe give something to them first. I do that in the All About Helping Facebook group when I give those 200 people 12 hours premiere of the video before anybody else gets to see it. I give them free downloads that I put out on the website before anybody else. I even ask 4 or 5 of them to check it even before I tell the first community that they can give me feedback. So the ultimate core of your audience need to be your testing group. So you can give them your debut single before you even announce it. You can give them the strategy that you want to do for the next 12 months. And you can say, yo, here are some demos of some songs that are not finished. What do you think of them? But that all starts with trust. And if you don't trust your super fans enough to ask them for a favor, then they might not really be your super fans. So you've got to build and nurture those relationships even better than you did before your account got taken. So now I want to hear from you in the comments below. If you had to start from zero, what would you do differently? And how would you become a better person at the end result? Because of it, how would you scale on social media back from 0 followers to wherever you were and beyond for the rest of your lives? So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for watching, because I've been telling my story through some examples here about what I would do. And now I want to make sure that you never ever miss a video on this channel. I need you to subscribe to All About Helping. We're on the podcast across YouTube, on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, and all the other places where you guys listen to podcasts, because that would be the one thing that could make a difference to rebuilding an account all over again.